One of the key corona crisis prevention measures that governments all over the world have begun to use is self-isolation. For literally millions of us, if not billions of us, the next few weeks and months are going to be a whole lot less social and a whole lot less active. But let's not forget that for many centuries, isolation has been used as both a physical and psychological punishment. Right the way from standing in the corner as a naughty schoolchild, that was definitely me, to solitary confinement in our prison systems. It's no surprise then that research clearly shows that self-isolation is related to severe depression and frequently leads to anxiety, to anger, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm a resilience expert and I know some tricks to keep the mind healthy. So here are my best ideas to help you make the absolute most of the self-isolation we will all be embracing over the coming weeks. First, physical exercise. Empirically, physical exercise is the best thing we can do to build our psychological resilience. Ironically, moving our body is fundamentally trying to slow our mind. Evidence shows that exercise lowers the risk of depression and anxiety and improves our cognitive functioning. Science even tells us that small units of anaerobic exercise, as little as 10 minutes a day, can be very beneficial. So I suggest you roll out that mat in your living room and get into the habit of exercising regularly at home. I'll also add a link below to my own morning exercise routine to help you get on the way. Second, it's good to talk. The next most important component of our well-being comes from our relationships. And not that long ago, international communication was tricky to say the least. Nowadays, while partly this curse of the 21st century, let's also bless our modern technology that allows us to communicate with our friends and family easily and cheaply around the world. In fact, our nearest and dearest have never been so close. Science tells us that social communities and support have extraordinary benefits in tackling depression and reducing anxiety. So I suggest you dial up that video chat with your aunts, your uncles, godchildren, and overseas friends you really talk to. Get connected and feel the love. 3. How about some personal planning? Research says that on average we spend more time planning our summer vacation than we do planning our lives. Maybe a period of self-isolation could be just the chance to change that. Perhaps it's time to sit back and consider the big picture, where you're at and where you'd like to be heading. What do you truly value? What's your life purpose? And if you're not familiar with these kinds of questions, I use them regularly, so please get in touch. One excellent way we can support this endeavour is to write stuff down. Journaling is shown to have many benefits. It makes you smarter. It reduces your stress and anxiety, improves our communication skills, boosts our creativity, and even heals physical, emotional and psychological trauma. So making the most of our self-isolation could be your best makeover ever. 4. Reading. As a society, we're simply not reading anymore. I know it's true of myself, but the science agrees, suggesting that on average, Americans read for only 15 minutes a day. But by not reading, we're not only missing out from the knowledge we receive from books, but also their therapeutic function. When the famous philosopher Nietzsche argued that the cathartic properties of tragedy should make it a social necessity, I couldn't agree more. Reading your favourite poems, exploring a new author, or reading a book that's just been gathering dust since Christmas will boost both your brain and your morale during self-isolation. 5. Declutter. Most of us have papers lying around, a disorganised wardrobe, or a junk room. What about those old gifts that you've just not yet shaken off? I suggest you capitalise on self-isolation to declutter your house, declutter your documents, declutter your time. Science shows how our mess takes up valuable visual and brain space, and how decluttering makes us less stressed, more productive, and might just change your life. And in doing so, making much more space for all the good to come into our lives. And finally, let's get some much needed extra Zs. How many times have you or I literally dreamt of taking time off just for sleep? Well, self-isolation provides the perfect opportunity to get some much needed extra rest. Even if you're still working during the period at home, I recommend you spend that extra time you just picked up from not commuting in your bed. If you're not convinced and need some extra persuasion, I have a blog post and sexy infographic that I can share with you with dangers, extreme dangers, both physically and mentally, of sleep deprivation. And again, I'll include that in the link below. In my opinion, if we're smart, self-isolation could indeed be a doorway for self-improvement. Don't miss this golden opportunity. I wish you all the best during your self-isolation in the corona crisis. Please do email me or give me a call if I can help.